2 and 1-866-6775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're very focused, Joe. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Celebrating today. Yeah, this is one that I think most of us want to do. And this one, today we celebrate Pretend to be a Time Traveler Day. I think many of us want to be a time traveler. Maybe we want to skip 2020. I want terms and conditions for 2021, please, before I agree to it. Although, what option do we have? I guess there is none. Let's take a look, though. Hey, having beaten anorexia, and as you know, I have. So today also has a very, very significant choice for us, an option for us. Today is National Brownie Day. I like that one. We can go with National Brownie Day. Where are you getting the best brownies at? I know where I get mine. Take a look at the markets now. Dow Jones up 93.5 points. S&P 500 up 6. NASDAQ up 19. Oil, it's down 24 cents per barrel. Do we want to look at the numbers around the country on how that translates for those of us in Calizuela versus the rest of the country? Yeah, we might as well. AAA tells us the national average of a gallon of gasoline, $2.16 per gallon. Calizuela, we're at $3.18 a gallon. And yes, if you're in Missouri, $1.82. Sounds to me like about $1.36 cheaper in Missouri than we pay in Calizuela. Not good news. But hey, you know something? We voted for it, so we get what we deserve. What else is going on in the markets today? We look at the rates, the bond rates. What are they doing? What's looking at interest rates? What is it doing? So the 10-year Treasury right now down 2 basis points to 0.91, call it. That's basically where we are at. So we're watching that one for you. Why do I watch that one for you? Because that translates into mortgage rates. Not exactly. The mortgages go off the mortgage-backed securities, and there is something called convexity buying that I'm not going to get into right now. But every central bank currency right now, every one of the central bank bonds, they are down on their yields today. Germany is down to negative 0.604. Think about that. Put your money into a German 10-year bond and you don't get it all back. You lose 0.6% every year. Italy, you're going to get about 0.59 a year. Spain, pretty much flat, 0.02. The UK, 0.26. Japan, 0.02. So all areas you don't want to put your money into. Why is all of this happening? Well, let's take a look what's going on. So the first COVID vaccination, it happened today. The very first one, today based on UK time, 90-year-old lady in the UK is the first person to get the vaccine. Why do they give it to a senior citizen first? Do you understand that one? That one might be an interesting question as to why did they give it to the senior before anybody else got it. Good question. I don't have that answer, but hey, something, it could be that, I shouldn't go there. Right there, they don't worry about the seniors right now. Look at what Killer Cuomo did, my opinion, right? Sending infected seniors back to senior housing. Not a good deal, but 90-year-old woman says if she can do it, so can anybody. Although she just got the shot. Getting a shot seems to me like it's a pretty easy thing. But, what's going to happen? What's the rest of it? I don't know, but we'll find out soon enough. Senator Cruz says that he'd be happy to argue the Pennsylvania election case before the Supreme Court. Yeah, if you're watching the lame street media, you probably don't even know there's any court actions going on with regard to the election. You think it's all over, done with. And it probably is, but there are a lot of lawsuits, a lot of fraud allegations in the system. And none of the fraud allegations are being adjudicated or visited based on what's going on in the marketplace. What they're doing is they're being adjudicated. They're being done by private individuals. If they had the actual FBI working on this, or legal law enforcement working on it, I wonder how much more information they have. But Supreme Court Justice Alito said that Pennsylvania had to have some briefs to him by 9 o'clock Eastern time this morning. Don't have any idea where they stand with that one, but that did come from the Supreme Court Justice Alito. Cruz explains why he agreed to argue Pennsylvania election case if the Supreme Court takes it up. He said on Monday night that he agreed to present oral arguments before the Supreme Court in a key election-related case should the High Court take the matter up, because the matter raises, quote-unquote, very serious issues, unquote. Case brought by Representative Mike Kelly from Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania GOP congressional candidate Sean Parnell alleges that a 2019 state law allowing no excuse mail-in voting is unconstitutional. If the court agrees, according to KDKA, Kelly and Parnell said most of the Commonwealth's mail-in votes in this past election could be thrown out. Interesting right there. So we'll watch that one for you as to what's going on in that case. Other fascinating news that we've been watching for you. I saw this one last night. I do have a private news service. I pay for it, yes. Comes out of our no budget. We have no budget. 2/3 of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck during the COVID pandemic, according to a poll by Highland Solutions. Don't know who that is. They polled 2,000 Americans. 63% of the respondents say they're going paycheck to paycheck. November. Unemployment rate dropped to 6.7%. That's pretty good. We're thinking about watch that. I think there's only 1 month during the entire Obama tenure where unemployment was below 6.7%. So why is it that we need to have another stimulus bill? Interesting. Corruption in Washington. Could you believe that there's corruption in Washington? Surprise. Maxine Waters. Yeah, you got to love Mad Max. She hates everybody that doesn't agree with her. But she paid her daughter, she must like her daughter. She paid her daughter $240,000 from her re-election campaign. $240,000. But hey, Ilhan Omar, she paid her husband $3 million from her campaign fund. $3 million to her husband. Wonder what he did for that. And on top of that, his company, E Street Group, got $500,000 in COVID bailout money. $500,000 to the Congresswoman's husband. Amazing. Well, we've been talking to you. A lot of the news stations are going to be going under now that they don't have anything to report. ABC News laying off a lot of people, but this is not because of the fact that they're hurting so bad. But Hillary Estee McLaughlin out. Not an economic layoff. That's a Disney fearing The View layoff. Yeah, she's one of the chief executive in charge of The View. Horrible TV program. Total fiction. They have it in the news department of ABC. I don't know why, but they do have it in the news department. Unreal on that one as well. Moving right along, Wall Street might not be bullish enough on 2021. Keith Parker, head of U.S. equity strategy at UBS, published his year-ahead forecast for the S&P 500 and called for the benchmark index to rise to 4,100 by the end of next year. We're at 3696 right now as I speak to you. 4,100, he's saying. So that's looking about 11% gain. If you're in a 401k, that means something to you. Think about that every time you hear the feds talk about taxing capital gains. That would be your retirement money because you've got money in the markets, right? If you've got outside investments, that's capital gains. So be careful of all that with the Federal Reserve. Moving right along. Vaccine day. Yeah, doses of coronavirus developed by pharmaceutical giant Pfizer. And in my opinion, I would say corrupt pharma Pfizer. And its German partner BioNTech. It's going to be distributed in the United Kingdom today. First shots of an approved treatment rolled out by a Western country. Now, they just said that the United States had the opportunity to buy more vaccine than what we did. And that was another one of those Cannabis News Network stories. But I wonder, and they're saying that now Pfizer has agreed to give them to other countries, has committed to them to other countries. Well, the loons on the left were telling us that we should use the Defense Production Act to take whatever we want. I wonder if that's still the case. Use the Defense Production Act and take the virus, the vaccine that was targeted for other countries. I wonder what they would say if the administration did that. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, the media is telling us that housing is not affordable. I've got the charts. I'm going to dispel the myths right here today. An honest look at unemployment numbers, an extension of the loan forbearance for some homeowners, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you, but the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Real Estate Radio is hosted by local real estate and finance expert Ron Siegel. The purpose of this show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else. Whether you need to sell your home for top dollar, refinance and save money, or even buy a bargain in Southern California, Ron Siegel can help. Call Ron directly at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Take advantage of speaking with Ron anytime you're entering a real estate transaction. Having someone who can answer all of your questions that truly cares about you and your family's best interest is priceless. Call Ron Siegel today and you'll be glad you did. 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or you can visit realestateradio.com for more info.
Bluewater Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Dreaming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestateradio.com and click the free workshop button.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you paying rent because you can't afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next loan, hey, when you're ready to buy that new house and you don't have any money, Geneva Financial, they've got a down payment assistance program that might be able to help you. Do you have a lot of debts that you're paying and you're having trouble making ends meet? Geneva Financial, they've got a debt consolidation loan that might be able to help you. And all the other programs. Veterans, if you've been looking, if you haven't got a loan in the low twos on your interest rate, you might want to call our friends, Geneva Financial. They may have a program that can help you. Go to their text them, My Home Mortgage to 79564. Text My Home Mortgage, no spaces, 79564. Or you can go to ronismylender.com, ronismylender.com. That'll take you over to the Geneva Financial site. What's going on in the markets? The mortgage market's now down 89 points. NASDAQ is up 5.6. The S&P 500 up 6.5. 10-year Treasury still down 2 basis points on the yield. The bonds on the mortgages, those are up 2 basis points. And as I tell you every day, all that information is available on the super secret website, Google.com. What you're not going to get on the super secret website is, why is it happening? Do you know where to find that information? Yeah, right here, Ron Siegel Radio. We've got it for you. The NFIB Small Business Optimism Index dropped 2.6 points in November to 101.4, which is a 3-month low. Within the report, those seeing higher selling prices rose 3 points to the highest level since May 2018. And is just 1 point from matching the most since 2008. This speaks to businesses not having enough people to help their supply meet demand, which is another sign that we may see some temporary inflation. That's not good news, but here's the other part of it. As long as the federal government is giving people more money to stay home than to go to work, people are going to stay home. It's just pretty simple. That doesn't take rocket science. If I got more money to stay home, why would I go to work? Well, I like to go to work, but why would most people do that? You don't want to go to work and make less. So the federal government has to take that incentive of staying home away. Now, I understand we need a safety net for some people, but Calizuela, right? There's a lot of people that should be working in Calizuela, but because of Comrade Gruesome, we're not going to work. We're shutting down. There is no science to prove what they're saying. In fact, the science is actually the opposite of what Comrade Gruesome is telling everybody to do. From the reports I keep seeing, science actually says that if we're closed up in close proximity, that's where the virus is going to transfer. Yes, that means staying at home, locked up in a house. That's where the virus transfers. Similar to being locked or staying a group of people in a restaurant. Now, if you're outdoors, outdoor dining, there is no science, there's no evidence that says that that is where the virus is transmitted, other than in the imagination of Comrade Gruesome. Just throw that out there. CoreLogic, they reported their loan performance insights for the month of September, showing 6.3% of mortgages were 30 days or more delinquent, down from 6.6 last month. Loans 60 to 89 days due dropped from 0.8% to 0.7%. Loans that are seriously delinquent or 90 days or more decreased from 4.3 to 4.2%. Homes in foreclosure remain stable and very low at 0.3%. Seeing improvement across all areas of delinquencies. One foreclosure is too many, but when you factor in homes that are owned free and clear and take a look at all homes, only about 1 in 500 homes has a foreclosure. Pretty good. Tomorrow, it's going to be a very important 10-year Treasury auction. The last auction was weak, even with yields at relatively elevated levels compared to where they've been. It's amazing when we start saying that yields at 0.9 range is elevated. The reason for weak demand in an auction, investors think they'll be able to get a higher yield down the road. Will investors think that yields will come down with expectations that the Fed may purchase more longer-dated maturity bonds? Or will investors think yields will move higher because some of the supply issues and signs of inflation? The appetite for treasuries can impact both 10-year and mortgage-backed securities and can determine tomorrow which was we go in the wide range that mortgage bonds find themselves in, which way we go. Just throw that in there for you. Some pretty good information from our friends at Geneva Financial. That is the Mortgage Minute, again, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next mortgage, any kind of mortgage, Geneva, they've got the programs, they've got the products, you've got the phone or the internet search. Check them out. So one of the things that I hear on some of the lame street media, Cannabis News Network is known for this one. MSNB Hee Haw, they're known for this too, because they're always trying to talk down whatever's going on in the marketplace. And more often than not, they don't have legitimate data to support what they're saying. So the latest is that housing is going to slow down. Housing is not affordable. We can't sustain where we are. So I figured I would do a little bit of math for them because, yes, they do have problems with their math. They can't figure these things out. But CoreLogic, they came out with a report, and we have to understand that when we say that the home values or the median home price is up 15%, that is not the appreciation of any single property. That is the median home price. And the late Essia Debe at Chapman University used to say it's not a good indicator, but it is a consistent indicator, which is the reason that we use it. Not good, but consistent. So if we go to CoreLogic, we can actually see what home appreciation has done. They tell us the last 12 months, about 7% appreciation. So you can say your specific house, not the median, which means half above, half below. But on average, your specific house probably went up about 7% on a nationwide number. So if we were to look at that property, and I'm going to use some median numbers. They're small. I like small numbers. I'm a simple guy. But in the fourth quarter 2019, if we were to look at a home that we could buy at $327,100, again, median prices, and that same home today using the 7% CoreLogic appreciation, that's now $350,000. Yes, $22,900 more. That's appreciated. So if you waited, you lost that. But let's continue just because we're talking about the affordability myths today. 1 year ago, fourth quarter interest rates, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association, they give us numbers every Wednesday. We'll have them again tomorrow. The interest rate 1 year ago, 3.75%. Today, 2.75%. Down 1%. Got it. The loan amount, let's say we bought that house. We put 10% down on each option. The loan amount on that property a year ago, $294,400. The loan amount now $315,000. Again, that loan amount is up $20,600. Principal and interest payment based on the Mortgage Bankers Association interest rate. Not using APRs because we're just educating. I'm not trying to sell you anything at all. We're using hypothetical numbers. We're using small numbers. Certain areas of Southern California, you can buy homes at these prices. Many areas you cannot. But the monthly mortgage payment, principal and interest, didn't include taxes, insurance, or any of that kind of stuff because I'm trying to keep it simple. Those are going to be taxes and the insurance will go across. Those are going to be flat either way. Principal and interest, $1,363 a year ago, $1,286 now. That's a savings of $77. So yes, you bought a property that's $22,900 more than it was last year, $350,000. And because of the interest rate, your monthly principal and interest payment is less, $77 less. And I'm going to try right here. I'm going to see if I can get my team to put this chart up on the screen. So if you're watching us on any of our social channels, if you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, if you're watching us on the AM 1490 KMET ABC News and Talk video, you'll see these numbers. So we just went over the idea here that we had a principal and interest payment that's saving $77 over last year. Continuing on, the mortgage insurance, well, we got a higher loan amount, so the mortgage insurance is a little bit higher. $113 last year, $121 this year, up $8. You see that right there as well. So when you put it all together, the principal and interest plus the mortgage insurance, you're saving $69 a month. How could the affordability be going backwards, right? Properties are more affordable now than they were a year ago. Saving $69. Yet the down payment, okay, so you had to come up with another $2,300 because of the appreciation. But here's the kicker that they don't want to talk to you about. On average, income has gone up 5.9% over the last year. That's $295 extra. So if you're making $5,000 last year a month, you're making $5,295. That's about what you need to qualify for this home. So last year, $5,000. This year, $5,295. So you're making $295 a month more. Your payment went down by $69. Tell me, CNBC, how is that less affordable now than it was last year? It's not. That's why I say it's a myth. They're giving you bad information because they're not going to put together a table like what I've got right here that I'm showing you right now, that I'm educating you on. And if you want something like this put out just for your specific situation, it's pretty simple. Give our team a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. When we come back, I've got a lot more good information for you. An honest look at unemployment, unexpected FICO score changes, extension of loan forbearance for some homeowners, and of course, we've got that featured home today brought to you by mysocallender.com. Yes, all that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Hi, we're here with Ron Siegel, the host of Real Estate Radio. Ron, welcome to the studio. Give us insight as to what your show is all about.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me that question. The reason we developed Real Estate Radio is right now there is an abundance of misinformation out there. So Real Estate Radio is a show designed to give Southern California a focal point for their real estate knowledge, as well as a place to go just in case they might need anything real estate related.
So how are you helping people?
That's actually pretty simple. People need advice. So it really doesn't matter who you are. If you have any real estate questions, we're here to help. Whether you're buying a home, selling, you're experiencing a loan modification, short sale, foreclosure, there are a lot of things going on in this marketplace.
How can people get a hold of you?
Real easy. All you have to do is call. The number is 1-800-306-1990. Press option 1.
Interesting times in the market right now. Where do you think the markets are going from here?
That's a great question. All I can say is this. The housing market came down one house at a time, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build it one house, one family at a time. So the best thing that anyone can do is access the free advice that we really want to give you. And to do that, you simply need to call me. The number is 1-800-306-1990, option 1. I'd really love to help.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trust guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. SLT Home Digest 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. What are we talking about in the Mortgage Minute or the real-time real estate segment today? It's a pretty interesting story. Of course, I come up with them, so I guess they should be. An honest look at unemployment numbers last Friday. The Bureau of Labor Statistics released the November jobs report. It revealed that, though headed in the right direction, the nation's job recovery has slowed. The consensus reaction is best exemplified by a quote from Glassdoor senior economist Daniel Zhao. Quote, "We saw a positive job gains, but I think the sentiment is largely negative because we know that we're heading into a dark winter," unquote. Where have we heard that before? No doubt that millions of households have been and continue to be devastated by the economic downturn caused by the pandemic. We should, however, put the current situation into perspective. Where we currently stand is much better than where most experts thought we would be at this time. Jed Kolko, chief economist of Indeed, explained in his State of the Labor Market that though the situation is not good, we're doing better than original expectations. And I quote from him, "Though the labor market rebound is incomplete, it has nevertheless surpassed expectations. In May, after payrolls plunged and unemployment spiked, the Wall Street Journal panel of economic forecasters projected unemployment would be over 11% in December 2020 and not fall below 7% in the first half until the first half of 2022, a milestone already passed in October," unquote. With the announcement that vaccines should be available soon, we're not far from the most damaged segments of the economy gaining momentum again. Jeff Sparshott of the Wall Street Journal recently wrote, quote, "Even with signs of a recent slowdown, the labor market recovery since this spring has been much stronger than most economists expected. Many now project widespread vaccine distribution will eventually help lift the economy further as businesses are allowed to reopen and consumers feel more comfortable traveling, going to the movies, unquote. Bottom line, millions of Americans still out of work, better than it was during most of the Obama years, I say. The situation was forecasted to be even dire than it is today. Once a vaccine becomes available, the economy should complete its comeback, and so should the labor market. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Unexpected FICO score changes. That's an interesting concept. Consumers constantly ask why an updated score from a change in monitored credit file data can go in unexpected directions broadly. And I even had this happen to me once just recently, and I had to ask my friend Jeff Sipes over at Bluewater Credit why this might happen. And yes, I do monitor my credit. I'm a hawk on there, but I do some weird thing. Obviously, you know that I do weird things all the time. But I do some things that are intended to identify what would happen if, or the what ifs. Because FICO does not give anybody their actual algorithm. So there are places where they assume they know what the algorithm is, but they don't have the actual algorithm. So what I've done in certain instances is I'll let a balance on one of my credit cards go higher so I can see what it does, or go lower, see what it does. And that's the way to do it. And I monitor it with the only scoring system that is completely accurate, because it's the only one that is delivered by Fair Isaac Corporation. So go to myfico.com, and I don't get paid to tell you that. Go to myfico.com. I pay them to give me the information about my credit report so I can watch it all the time and see what it's doing. So I had something like this happen where my score went in an unexpected direction. I actually dropped the amount that I owed on a credit card, and my score went down. And I said to Jeff, why is that? So there are some times when changes can go up in response to an apparent bad news, or go down in response to apparent good news. First, the event described in your alert may not be the only thing driving the change in your score. FICO scores are calculated using the entire credit file as of the date of the alert. That's a key point. So if you run your score right now and run it 2 hours from now, it could be different, because there's no place in the file that it stores your score. As soon as it's requested by a service company, a purchaser of that information, it goes out there and calculates a score based on every piece of data it has at that precise second. So if an hour ago you had something hit there, and 2 hours ago you ran your score, it could be different. So when we look at these things, and I get this information again right from Fair Isaac, for example, the passing of time can change the age of accounts in your credit file, which can impact a FICO score. You could receive an alert for something else, like a small balance increase, which shows an unexpected increase in your FICO score. It's likely that minor balance increase did not cause the score increase, although we're going to get into more issues on this below and then later in the process, in this discussion. It's more likely that an unreported change, like an increase in the age of accounts, caused the increase in the score. While the event described in your alert may be the main thing driving the change in your score, the resulting score change can still be counterintuitive. The FICO score model is a sophisticated algorithm designed to predict credit risk. As a result, it may not be clear why your score changed the way it did. So we're going to talk about some examples of counterintuitive score changes. So you do nothing and your score gets better. Well, generally that has to do with the passage of time. That can be favorable for your FICO scores. If you have no new negative events and your balances decrease or remain unchanged, you can usually expect your FICO scores to go up over time. Several reasons for this, and here are a few of the common ones. As time passes, negative items like late payments or bankruptcies, they can fall off your report. Second, as other negative items on your credit report age, they gradually have less impact on your FICO scores. Third, inquiries have no impact on your FICO scores after a year. Fourth, simply having a longer credit history is considered a positive for your FICO scores. Note that being entirely inactive with your credit may result in becoming unscorable. FICO scores require there to be activity reported on at least one account in the last 6 months as part of the minimum scoring criteria. Next case, you close an account and your score drops. Closing a revolving account, credit card, can have a negative impact on a FICO score for 2 reasons. First, closing down an account will likely reduce your total amount of available credit and increase your credit utilization. That's the percentage of available credit being used. That can have a negative effect on your FICO scores. Second, closing an account can affect your credit mix. FICO scores consider the different types of credit accounts being used or reported, including credit cards, retail accounts, and installment loans like auto loans and mortgage loans. People who demonstrate responsible use of different types of credit generally considered less risky to lenders. Next case, you pay off a credit card and your score decreases. Paying off a credit card, paying off your total credit card balances to zero can have a negative effect on your FICO scores. So we got a whole article on that one. Remember that your current account balance isn't necessarily the balance that shows up on your credit report. Your credit report will reflect the account balance that your lender reported to the credit bureau. That's like once a month they report that. This is often the balance from your last monthly statement, not always. Even if you pay your credit card balance in full each month, your account balance won't necessarily show on your credit report as zero at the time of the account balance is reported to your lender. So that's why you want to pay your bill before the statement closing date. Next case, you pay off a car loan and your score goes down. Again, that has to do with, it could be how it affects your scoring mix. Again, that's the issue there. You get a credit card limit increase and your score decreases. Well, that's generally a positive. However, the lender will typically post an inquiry before granting the limit increase. The loss of points from that inquiry can be greater than the increase in points from the higher limit. Good news is that the negative effect from an inquiry is not long lasting. It only stays on there for 12 months. You apply for a car loan or a mortgage loan and your score does not change right away. Certain types of loans involving rate shopping, FICO likes that you rate shop. That's prudent, so they don't ding you for that one. Late payment from 7 years ago drops off and your score stays the same. Over time, it's going to not have as much impact. So that's why that one is the way it is. If it's been on there for 7 years, it's already to the point, minimal impact on your score. So that just gives you a few ideas right there on the credit issues. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, extension of loan forbearance. We'll chat about that one. And we're going to also get to that featured home brought to you by mysocallender.com. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, The team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today Ron Siegel 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and BCAL number 018694552.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations and MLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by MySoCalLender.com, MySoCalLender.com. They've got the properties and the information about anything you want to know. And when it comes to what happened there? It's not exactly what we were supposed to be looking at, but let's change that around. There we go. My SoCal Lender. So today we've got 2378 North Springwoods Lane in Orange. Brought to us by Melinda Johnson. Stunning 5-bedroom, 4-bath, plus a loft. Park Ridge home and entertainer's paradise. Enjoy a resort-worthy tropical custom rock formation pool with a beach entry, water slide, waterfall, and custom palapa-style bar and grill, all set in island landscape and located on a flat, estate-sized lot. Inside, the chef's kitchen features granite counters, a center island stainless steel appliances, and a walk-in pantry. Up the sweeping staircase, you'll find a true master retreat with a city lights view, his and her walk-in closets, and an additional study or office, or what did he use an exercise room for? $1,289,000 is the price on this property. So we've got the strategy. Once again, as I tell you, strategy beats rate always. Strategy beats rate always. So let's take a look at what the strategy is on this one. Put the 10% down, you've got a payment of $7,084 a month. 20% down, you've got a payment of $6,184 a month. 25% strategically, payment of $5,630 a month. Pretty interesting. For those of you keeping score, those APRs are 3.329, 3.225, and 2.825. Keeps the compliance people happy. That's NMLS 217037. Think about that, $1,300,000 house almost, and a $5,600 payment per month. That's including The HOA, the insurance, the escrows, tax account. If you were taking all those things out, you're looking at $3,882 a month. Think about that, $3,882 a month, principal and interest on a $1.3 million house. And you're thinking about all the amenities that come with this property. That's a pretty amazing set of numbers. So give Melinda Johnson a call if you have an interest in that property. Looks pretty fascinating to me, but hey, I just do a little radio show here. So let's talk a little bit. I should say that is the featured home segment brought to you by MySoCalLender.com. Featured home brought to you by MySoCalLender.com. Since the coronavirus started substantially impacting the U.S. economy, millions of people financially affected by the pandemic have entered into a loan forbearance or deferred payment plans with their lenders. These programs are designed to temporarily suspend or reduce the amount of your monthly loan payment for a specific period of time. Should not be any fees, penalties, or additional interest added to your account through this deferment period, but regular interest may still accrue. Key term to understand here is temporarily. Many of these programs granted by lenders were set up for 3 to 6 month periods and could expire very soon. That means at the end of the period, the temporary deferred payment feature will stop. You'll be expected to start making payments based on the loan, based on the terms you and the lender agreed to when you initially set up the program. What if your situation hasn't changed? It's good news. The Department of Housing and Urban Development recently announced an extension. The extension allows single-family homeowners with FHA-insured mortgages to request an initial forbearance through December 31st, 2020. Under FHA rules, mortgage servicers must provide up to 6 months of coronavirus forbearance when an individual requests this assistance. Servicers also need to provide up to an additional 6 months of forbearance for homeowners who request an extension of the initial forbearance. This means some borrowers may not have to exit forbearance until the end of 2021. But you have to make the call and engage with your mortgage loan servicer. Number one, reach out as soon as possible. Explain your circumstances, your need to extend a deferred payment plan or enroll in a new program. Do not assume the program terms will simply apply it, auto-renew. It's critical to have these interactions before the program expires. Not doing so could negatively impact your FICO scores if you miss a payment. That missed payment could also be reported to the credit bureaus. Do your homework. Be prepared to discuss the program's payback structure. 3 common structures include a deferment with a lump sum payment, deferment with a partial payments, or a deferment with loan term extension. Be sure to document all the interactions you have and carefully review any forms or agreements before signing to help prevent unwanted surprises down the road. The one that you really want is the deferment with loan term extension. That means that just putting the missed payments all at the tail end of your loan. So if you had a 30-year loan, you might have a 31-year loan or 31.5-year loan. You don't have to make any balloon payments to make up the missed payments. You just resume making payments like nothing had ever happened. If you're enrolling or your forbearance is extended, the reporting of an account being in deferred or forbearance status alone is not considered negative by the FICO scores. However, the information your lender will likely update on the account, such as current balance and payment status, will continue to be considered on your FICO score. As such, you should confirm with your lender how they intend to report the account to the credit bureau. So here's the issue, is it does show up on your report that you've got a mortgage in forbearance. Not a bad thing, it's just there. If you need it, that's what it's there for. If you don't need it, do not take it. Do not use it. Why? Because in the long run, it's going to pose a bit of a difficulty for you. Not in the long run, but right now it'll pose a bit of a difficulty for you, because the issue that we're looking at is interest rates are at a near all-time lows. They might even hit an all-time low when they report on tomorrow for the MBA or on Thursday for Freddie Mac. If they're at an all-time low, maybe you want to be looking at restructuring your home loan. If you're restructuring your home loan, the lender will not lend you money if you're in any one of these deferment programs. Well, why would they want to lend you money? Because they don't their income or their investors want to know a couple of things. How much money are they lending? Are you creditworthy? Can you repay them their money? Can you repay them their interest? That's the profit on their money. If you answer no to any of those, why would they want to give you a loan? And if you're in a active deferment, well, they're not going to do it. They're going to say, hey, you know something? Mr. and Mrs. Jones can't afford what they've got now. Why would they be able to afford to pay me later? Why do I want to take on somebody else's potential problem? May not be a problem, but it is a potential problem. Why would they want to do that? So what they end up doing is they say, you know something? We're going to wait until you're making payments again. When you're making payments again, let's talk. Okay, so what are interest rates going to be when you start making payments again? Nobody knows. Right there, when you're at a near all-time low, do you think they're going to go down further? Maybe. What's the likelihood? Is it likelihood to go up or go down? Well, the likelihood is that they're going to go up, right? How can they go too much lower? They've never done that before. So the concept here is if you need it, use it. If you don't need it, don't use it. And the main reason for all of it is you want to make sure you're getting the best program for your family. And that's why we've got that Home Digest for you every month. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean for engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Tried to swim against